Welcome back, Super Friends and Super Family. I'm Nick, and today I'm reacting to The Big Bang Theory Season 8, Episodes 5 and 6. As always, if you want to watch along the full unedited reaction, of course, that is on Patreon. It's also where you can check out future episodes of the show if you don't want to wait and you'd care to support the channel. Let's just get right into it. The Big Bang Theory Season 8, Episodes 5 and 6. What you need from me, Boba?
Someone invented a way so you can charge your cell phone while walking.
Really?
We left a diagram of it in the restaurant, and none of us wanted to walk back.
That would be so cool if that could work,
I know the
right?
real reason you never made progress with that idea. So much blood rushed to your genitals, your brain became a ghost town.
Sheldon might be onto something.
Commemorating the anniversary of Dr. Seuss's death.
No one wants to hear it.
Why die? Old told. I was told he was old.
Poor Dr. Seuss.
Since meeting her, what have been your greatest accomplishments?
Tricking Penny into getting engaged.
Tricking
And a few
her,
weeks ago,
tricking
we almost did
her.
a pull-up.
Okay, that last one is the best.
We've all been distracted since the girls entered our lives. Hope you're having a good day. Who has time for this constant sexting?
We could have one of those retreats.
Like our own science retreat.
Cousin has a cabin out in the woods.
Not going to a cabin in the woods.
Then we'll go to a hotel.
A hotel? Did you see The Shining?
What, everything is a horror movie?
Get a house on the lake.
Wait, did you see The Lake House?
The Lake House is also a horror movie, true.
Only time that travels an hour having my life down the toilet.
You would go to a beach house?
Well, good Lord, no. Have you seen Jaws?
You just wanted to turn that option down as well. Sheldon's on a roll. But they should meet up and kind of brainstorm some ideas, right? That could be fun, since they decided it was too late to invest in Stewart's comic book store.
Science retreat this weekend? I just want to know if that's okay.
Bernadette, Girls Week in Vegas, you in?
Oh yeah! Check hotels.
I'll check my underpants. I'm so excited I think I peed.
Dang, right there on the sofa? Holy Amy. But there you go, you have permission. Enthusiastic permission.
Assumed you'd have to stay home to lower the food down to her in the pit.
Emily's working tonight.
One would assume I'm getting out of the pit.
Look at that, Sheldon joining in.
I feel like we're in the Facebook movie.
I never saw that.
Wonderful. And I swear I'm not saying that because Justin Timberlake is in it.
But that's part of the reason.
We should watch it.
Oh, cool. I'll make the popcorn.
So much for brainstorming, though.
We went from let's change the world to let's watch TV.
I'm sorry, is that a no?
No, that's not a no.
I did not get a clear answer. I'm gonna set this down now.
How long before they turn it on?
Robot girlfriend.
That was mine.
Robot prostitute.
Also mine.
Why would you need both a robot?
Some things you don't do with your robot girlfriend.
Oh, gosh.
Just skip all the inventions you can have sex with.
That's a lot of pages.
In Back to the Future 2, a lot of things in that movie haven't been invented.
It's already in the past.
We could figure out the scientific basis for Marty's hoverboard.
That would be amazing.
I have an idea.
I have the same one.
We gotta watch Back to the Future too.
Oh, no. Everything leads back to the same destination.
I want to go downstairs, get a bucket of margarita, till I vomit all over a roulette wheel and watch it go everywhere.
That's the Vegas dream?
Uh-oh.
What?
They moved my field right up to Monday. It means instead of having a week to study, I only have 2 days.
Oh, dang, dang.
You know, let me do a little tonight and I'll catch up with you guys later.
Of course, this is what they end up doing.
Different 2015. It's Hot Tub Time Machine all over again.
I haven't seen that.
1955, Biff placed his first bet.
The right tense for something that would have happened in the future of a past.
Oh my gosh. How to think your way out of a movie.
That's when he altered the timeline.
But he had, will, haven't placed it.
What?
Yeah, it's getting clearer and clearer.
Never brought the time machine.
Wait. Is brought right?
I think we just put a pause on the grammar while we try to work out the time travel.
Never gets the almanac. Never hasn't. Never had, have, hasn't.
Now this is how you do a movie discussion.
We sent the girls away so we could focus.
I don't think it worked.
It is relatable, though. It is very easy to find distractions when you try to sit down and work. Those are some epic margaritas. Look at that.
You'll be in the mood for some Manilow.
I think after this I'll be dead.
Look at you, your body's banging. Scientist to scientist, how big are those hadron colliders?
This is what happens every time Amy drinks.
I'll show you the divot in my spine. If you put a AA battery in there, it makes my leg kick.
Is that real? I think it is, right?
This is already better. There are far fewer distractions.
No, that's not true.
I've been thinking about the hoverboards, and maybe there's a way we could use maglev technology.
Figure out a way to supercool the materials we could utilize quantum coupling. It's right there on the screen. Austria does look like a wiener.
Yeah, once you're online, it's game over. You're on YouTube.
Some form of operant conditioning techniques to keep us from getting off topic.
Behavior modification?
Yeah, exactly. Those techniques were used to actually teach pigeons to play ping pong.
Cannot be true.
This is the black hole of distraction that is being online.
Maybe we can come up with a punishment for straying off topic.
Idle chatter was punished with a device called the Scold's Bridle.
What is that?
Locked around the head and pierces the tongue.
Only we had one.
Let's find a different productivity method. How about? Oh no, they're gonna distract. They're gonna distract poor Penny.
Somebody pooping on a party in there.
It was us the whole time. Is it working?
Yeah.
The tequila is working. That's for sure.
So sorry. Guess who won $100 playing craps?
That's $1.
And guess who wildly overtipped a cocktail waitress?
Found a place that has Australian male strippers.
If they twirl their junk in the other direction. Climb into an Australian man's G-string like a baby kangaroo.
Have fun at the club. And if you get in trouble, find a policeman. He's taking off his pants. He is not a real policeman.
I don't know if they'll be able to tell the difference under the circumstances.
We'll help her study so she can get done quicker.
No, just go out and have a good time without her.
I got your notes! If you want these, they're gonna be at the strip club!
Aren't you gonna chase her?
To the walk-in closet, sure.
It was actually a great episode about how hard it is to stay focused and the different constant attacks you have on your
Where
attention.
someone takes us off topic, they get their arm hair yanked off. One benefit of quantum coupling.
Well, no. Who decides if someone's gone off topic?
If not, we'll take a vote. Also,
Ow!
that was clearly a tangent. Now, come on. If we're leaning towards quantum coupling, then we should...
That made me think of the show Quantum Leap. That's a tangent and it's your fault.
I vote that is not a tangent.
I owe you one.
Ah!
Okay, yeah.
That was your fault.
There's a lot of hair.
Negative reinforcement is the removal of a positive stimulus. It's a common mistake. Even Bill Murray makes that mistake in the first scene of Ghostbusters.
Really? Time to watch Ghostbusters or what?
I'm studying the effect of negative reinforcement.
Bill Murray did get it wrong.
Jump ahead to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
No!
Poor Leonard. He's trying. He's trying.
We should stand here and watch the rest of Ghostbusters on a crappy laptop.
No.
Is Penny there? Is Penny there?
Yep, shake that thing.
I don't know how she can study an environment like this.
Some pretty hot corpses in my anatomy class, but none of them move like that.
Oh my gosh, you're evaluating the corpses?
You want to go to the pool? Only nerds and losers stay in the room.
That's Penny's revenge.
I should probably close these curtains. Nah, bye.
I like your suit.
Got a couple new outfits for work.
Your fiance's job is flirt with doctor. You sit here, looking like this.
All very professional.
You bend over, I can see down your shirt.
Okay, good.
How are things going with dark matter?
It's the most exciting time in the history of the field.
Really?
What's going on?
I started doing it.
Oh, okay. That's the huge excitement.
Sending research teams down into abandoned salt mine.
Hang on. You guys are gonna work in a mine?
Why not?
You had a panic attack when we went through the car wash.
The emotion you're referring to was shock at you having something clean.
Good retort.
You could ride around in one of those mine carts that go.
Help them get away when they see a go.
Are they making fun of us?
One of my favorite video games of all time is called Shadow of the Colossus.
Never heard of it.
It came out with a new version. It just wasn't as good as the first one.
She has nothing to add.
Just saying that there was this video game.
Yeah,
called
that's when I started thinking about work. This is for you.
What is it? She paying him back or what?
You know how they gave me the company car? Didn't make sense to have two, so I sold the other one.
Oh, okay.
Now we're even.
Yeah,
What?
nothing.
Definitely not nothing.
What should I have done? Taken a picture, put it in a pink frame that says, best fiance ever?
Doesn't sound that bad.
Good, because that's what I did!
That's sweet.
Use it to buy yourself something else.
I can buy my own stuff. I have.
That doesn't mean I can't do something nice.
Somebody take the money. Please don't have a fight over this.
Can you pass this out, please?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Come on.
In my mind, that broke the tension with comedy and led to sex.
You busy?
This mind is capable of advanced multitasking. I'm attempting to solve the Penrose conjecture. I'm wondering how mermaids have babies.
How is that relevant?
Lay eggs on a rock?
Now I've got room for another thing. What do you want?
There'll be dynamite explosions going off in the distance?
Lactose intolerant roommate with a taste for ice cream. Next.
You have to be down there for 12 hours at a time.
Have to be somewhere.
So why don't you guys go?
So we'll have to do a business in a bucket?
We're not doing it.
Okay, that's the deal breaker. That's the deal breaker.
That we recreate the conditions of the mind to see if we can handle it. Just Google hot, dark, and moist. See what comes up.
Sheldon.
Oh, no, but look, there's all kinds of videos.
I think I came up with a pretty good solution.
What?
It'll be our first money together. We can use it for the wedding, the honeymoon, whatever.
Okay.
I love that.
Not just a genius in bed.
She's like, no comment, no comment.
Get this job kind of changes the balance in our relationship. Trying to be sensitive to that.
What?
Now he has something to add.
Tried to do something nice. Maybe you had a problem with it because of your control issue.
And I'm no longer an out-of-work actress. That makes you a little insecure.
You know how insecure I am about my insecurities.
All this time, I never knew there were steam tunnels down here.
I spent 3 days in one
You
pledging
did?
a sorority.
Really?
Did you get in?
No.
No, they forgot I was there, but it really opened up my pores.
Well, at least you're focusing on the bright side of that experience.
This walkie-talkie is yours. If you run into any problems, I'll contact.
They're going to.
What's the rule?
Save you first, come back for Raj only if there's time.
That's a good girlfriend response.
I'm really impressed you're willing to try this.
Brushes up against my well-known aversions. Going below floor level, dampness, hatches,
You're conquering your fears.
and eliminating in Home Depot buckets. I have a feeling that's gonna rocket to the top of the list.
It'll make you appreciate toilets for sure.
How hot is it? 102 degrees. Koothrappali's restating of the obvious is already getting on my nerve.
Yeah, will you guys be able to survive together? That's another angle to it.
We had some questions about how you handle money.
Oh, this is smart, actually.
Told you they weren't gonna ask us to swing with them.
Dang. Someone was getting excited.
Ever fight over money?
Since I make so much more money than Howie.
I brought a lot of significant assets into the relationship.
Your incomplete set of Star Trek collector plates?
It's about the last one I needed on eBay.
Without asking me?
Yeah, this is the answer if they ever fight about money.
How are you feeling?
Amazing. 10 out of 10.
A little claustrophobic.
It'd be great if something was down here. It turns into like a horror movie.
Miners often sang mining songs to keep their spirits up. As a dungeon way down.
It's a little more bleak than I thought.
It replaces Soft Kitty when you're in a bad mood.
Body will blacken, turn into coal.
Getting kind of grim.
I kind of like it.
The miner that mines my poor bone.
Okay, how about a little Miley Cyrus next?
Talk about wasted money.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Somebody didn't pay the bill on time.
But if I wasn't also doing everything else around.
Saying I don't do anything around here. Look at my tour chart.
They need to go on Money for Couples, the YouTube show.
Do the dishes. There's a star right there.
Putting water in the roasting pan and leaving it in the sink is not doing the dishes.
That pan had to soak, and you know it.
Don't come crying to me when you don't get your allowance.
Allowance, gosh.
I usually don't like lemon bars, but these are really good.
You guys are okay in comparison with your money discussions.
How would she go unrecognized just by wearing a wig?
Superman concealing his identity with a pair of glasses?
He combs back his curly cue and affects a mild-mannered personality.
Doing okay down there?
Use the walkie-talkie.
Doing okay down there?
It's more legit this way.
I'm going to the vending machine. Do you want anything?
You have to survive on the supplies we brought.
Okay.
They want something.
What if we brought them down with us?
We'll take some Funyuns. And season 1 of a show called Hannah Montana.
Season 1, it was still finding itself.
How many seasons was that show on for?
Well, in sales, I could end up making a lot more money than you.
Grew up with a mother who emasculated my father financially and in every other aspect of his life. Really, it's what I think love looks like.
Oh, gosh.
Good thing we came here. It's like a lesson in what not to do.
Little bit.
You're being a baby.
I'm a grown man and I made the bed. Now where's my star?
Should we go?
Yeah, hang on. I want to see if he gets the star.
Now Penny's into the drama. When your friend's life is like a reality show for you.
We could take some more simulated instrument readings.
Focus at the moment is keeping my claustrophobia at bay. I am tempted to crack you open and suck the air right out of your lungs.
So not great.
When I entered the field of string theory, I was a prodigy. I assumed my career would continue on that upward trajectory. Now here I am in my 30s, back at square one. Frankly, it's frightening.
That's really honest of Sheldon to admit.
You know what I think of when I'm scared? Voyager.
Voyager the space probe or Voyager the Star Trek TV show? Too hot and tired to go on about how much I hate Voyager the TV show.
Is it bad?
When I left India for America, I was never more scared in my life. Somewhere beyond our solar system.
Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, this is gonna interrupt your inspiring speech, dude.
Don't leave! You can do this!
Is everything okay?
It's too late for Cthulhu Polly. Let's go!
Abandon him to the rats.
11 minutes. That's longer than I thought.
That was only 11 minutes, wow. Dang, poor Raj, poor Raj. Sheldon could have at least warned him.
It's definitely the most fun thing we can do with the money.
Never done it on a big old pile of cash before. Me neither, Leonard. It's my first time, too.
Let's talk about your birthday party.
Laser tag, laser tag.
Do you really need me to transcribe this?
You're doing it for future generations who will benefit from my struggle.
I like Sheldon's shirt with all the Batman symbols.
Simulation log. My Kit Kat has melted. All is lost.
That's a good opening.
Leaving me to fend off a family of rats!
His statements of the obvious continue to annoy.
That was a great ending line. All right, so that's The Big Bang Theory Season 8, Episodes 5 and 6. I thought both those episodes were really, really strong episode 5, I really liked the theme of focusing on distractions and how hard it is to stay focused, right? And to get work done, and why there's just endless ways you can waste time. I feel like this is something that anyone can relate to. And with each of both the A and the B storyline, they kind of took different elements or aspects of ways that people will be drawn away from what they're trying to get done. I mean, with Leonard, Sheldon, and Howard, and Raj, they're all trying to brainstorm and get some time alone to think of different ideas and inventions and things that they're passionate about, things that they've been wanting to do together for a long time. And I think most of us can relate, whether it's something artistic or something business or just a hobby you want to pursue. I feel like almost everyone has something that they say, oh, if I just had more time, I want to do X, right? And then sometimes you actually work hard, you make a time slot in your schedule, and you have an opportunity to work on X. But how often does something else come up? And just the way that one topic would so easily bring their minds to something like a movie reference, or did you know about this fun fact? I feel like that's very relatable. I mean, there are so many distractions, especially I feel like in our day and age. I mean, we have a ton of luxuries in this modern age, and I feel like it is a pretty amazing time to be alive in most parts of the world compared to any other time period in history, for sure. But that doesn't mean it's perfect. And I think one of the challenges is just the unbelievable excess of entertainment coming on all sides. It's almost a barrage of distraction. Your phone is just a black hole, your computer, movies. There's so many things that can draw your attention away from the thing that you want to do. And I feel like Leonard is almost like, in that dynamic, was like the voice in your head trying to bring you back, trying to get you focused. But I feel like the brain is so great at coming up ways to procrastinate, right? Like, even when they were thinking of ideas to train themselves to be more focused, that in and of itself was like an insidious way to do anything other than what they actually wanted to do, right? So I feel like, as frustrating as it kind of was watching that episode, I feel like it was very relatable. And then in the B storyline, we have the girls all out at Vegas having a great time. The surprise challenge is that Penny has to, do some studying for her job. Something unexpected came up, right? She doesn't have as much time as she thought to prepare. And I really admire Penny for putting in the work. Penny just, based off everything we've seen of her, I can totally see her tendency being to go away from doing the more responsible, boring thing. You're in Vegas, that would be tough to do. You go to Vegas, you're there specifically to have fun, have a good time, but then to put aside that temptation and really prioritize your job and sit in the room and study on your own, that takes some real discipline. So I definitely admire Penny for what she was doing, kind of that resolve. It really shows how seriously, she's taking this job and how she wants to make a serious change in her life, which is kind of exciting to see in her character. But with, Amy and Bernadette, they kind of show the other side. Like, even if you're able to resist the temptation of YouTube, social media, Instagram, movies, all, TikTok, everything that can just take away hours of your time, and it just can become an endless pattern of repetition where you lose focus. Then there's also the element of your friends, right? Sometimes you finally carve away enough time in your schedule and you put the phone away, you're really focused, but then your friend texts you, or they want to hang out, or something comes up, or there's a party going on, or there's a birthday, or there's something to go do, and there's this opportunity, and of course you have to go have fun right now. You know what I mean? There's always a reason, right? And it was a great episode overall because, it kind of showed why it's so difficult. It's not that people don't have other aspirations or things that they want to focus on and get done, or goals or dreams, but it really demonstrated in a very relatable way just all the different attacks that can pull your attention away, and the real challenge of staying focused. It's not just about focusing on the thing you want to do. It's about resisting the pull and the temptation and the draw and the pressure that can come from so many different angles. So I thought that episode was just so relatable in that sense. And I also admire that Penny, even though, you know, she went to the club with them, she was still studying at the club. And I think that while it isn't perfect, of course, you know, I'm sure she wasn't able to focus on her work to the degree that she would have if she stayed in her room. Sometimes that's maybe the best compromise you can have, right? You know, and of course there's a balance in life. I'm not saying that you have to say no to every social event and never pause your work and just sit back and relax and unwind and watch a movie. Obviously not. But I think all of us know when we slip up and we fall into a trap. It feels very different than when you're consciously deciding, hey, I'm going to take a break. You know what I mean? But anyways, I really enjoyed that theme for the whole episode. And then for episode 6, we had kind of a very different theme, and a theme that I find very interesting. I don't know if other people find it interesting, but it had to do with the dynamic of finances when you become a couple or when you get married, right? And that is something that leads to a lot of conflict in relationships overall. You know, money for a lot of people is an uncomfortable topic to discuss. And I think it's kind of one of those things, like I have a lot of criticisms for what, you know, is the standard for education, or I guess that's not the right way to put it. I think there's a lot of really fundamental, almost universal life skills that should be part of the education system for everyone in the world practically that are completely lacking. Like everything I know about personal finance or talking about money or connecting to your partner or just having those important conversations that almost anyone needs to learn how to have, I have learned on my own, you know, just doing research, watching tons of videos, reading things, reading books, and also experiencing it in real life. But I was taught none of it in school. None of that was taught to me. And I think it's just such a universally fundamental skill to have that I'm like, why isn't this taught in school? But that's kind of a tangent. The real issue is like the idea of how you deal with talking about money when you're in a serious relationship, when you're engaged, when you're married. How do you deal with those financial discussions? How do you split your money? How do you share your money? Do you have a joint account? How do you make financial decisions? And all of that is very interesting to me. I don't think there's a one size fits all like most things with relationships, but I do think that everyone, no matter what, you know, you establish and what kind of thing you work out with your partner, it's very important to learn how to have those conversations. And we just saw the episode did a really great job of kind of having a very ordinary conversation of Penny and Leonard at dinner together, but they really showed in an organic, kind of realistic way how quickly things can become tense. And then what I also appreciated is that there are a few times throughout their discussion where Penny and Leonard would kind of recognize like, hey, we're starting to fight about this. Let's step back and, you know, this is silly. Let's not fight about this, right? But it's still, you can still slip into that fight very easily, even if you're making an attempt to be self-aware or making an attempt to communicate in a calm manner. There's just something about the topic of money, like certain other topics, where especially if you don't have experience talking about it with your partner or with people in general, I feel like it's very easy to kind of, for reasons you might not even be aware about, become a polarizing, emotionally upsetting conversation, right? But what I did think was really cool is that Penny and Leonard were like, hey, let's talk to our friends who are married and see if we can learn some lessons about finances and how they split their money from Howard and Bernadette. I think that's actually a really smart thing to do, but of course it didn't go the way they thought, right? Instead, they learned maybe what not to do. I just love how immediately when they ask for advice from Bernadette and Howard get into a fight much worse than the, you know, kind of discussion that Penny and Leonard were having. And they have a full-on fight, which is already awkward enough. I mean, it is an awkward situation to be with friends when another couple is having a fight in front of you. It is not a fun thing to be a part of. I think it's a little bit inconsiderate of the other couple, but they really have a demonstration of like, this is what it's like if you don't figure out how to split your finances and have this type of discussion. And honestly, I think it's probably accurate to the way a lot of couples deal with money. Right? I think it's one of those things where if you ignore it and you don't talk about it, a lot of people can get along just fine. But a lot of times, whether it might not be the same type of argument, probably different for many people than it was for Bernadette and Howard, but I think a lot of the times it'll have some form of conflict. And it was obviously comedic, seeing Howard pout like a child and go to his room and seeing the star system that they have. But I do feel like they dealt with some interesting, more serious things that are real. I think it is real that a lot of guys feel insecure about making less money than their partner because of some of just the social expectations. Like, a guy is supposed to provide, a man should be providing the financial security. That's kind of just a script that is laid on to a lot of men their entire lives, right? And so there is this pressure and often this insecurity if you make less than your partner. On top of that, I also think, to be fair to Howard, that the way that Bernadette, as the partner in the relationship who makes a lot more money, was kind of lording that over him and demeaning his contributions to the relationship is also super, super unhealthy. I mean, I'm not taking it too seriously for the show. They were doing it for jokes. They were having kind of a comedic argument in that scene. But I do think it happens often, whether it's the guy who makes a lot more money or the girl who makes a lot more money. Regardless, I think it's really unhealthy and inadvisable to kind of use that to add more weight to your side of the discussion, if that makes sense, or to minimize the contributions that your partner makes in a relationship, especially if you know that your partner is insecure about making less money. I think you should be even more considerate about talking about that or making them feel small for how much less money they make, especially if you're talking in front of other people and other friends are also hearing that discussion. The last thing I think you should do as a partner is kind of expose the insecurities of your partner and discuss them and talk down about them. I mean, even if it's something imperfect that your partner does, your partner has a bad habit of doing this, or your partner, upsets you, the second you bring other friends and other people in as witnesses and start complaining about that in front of them, I think it really does damage to the strength of your relationship, when if you really just worked it out in private, it could take things in a very different direction. But to be fair to the show, I kind of appreciate it because I think that the less healthy dynamic when it comes to partners with different levels of income is probably much more common in real life, even if it's far less ideal. And it was funny as well, the way that it all played out as well. And like I said, it's also important not to be the child in the relationship. You know what I mean? There are definitely partners in relationships who act like a child when it comes to money and just let the other person take on the burden and the responsibility of dealing with all of it. And that also is really silly. You know what I mean? If you're in a relationship, you're not a child. You shouldn't be totally ignorant of the total household income that's coming in. You shouldn't just put all the burden of paying the bills on one person. I mean, if you have something worked out where you're like, I handle this in the relationship, you handle this, that's okay, but you can't be totally checked out of the money conversation and just be collecting your gold stars either, if that makes sense. But anyways, I'm rambling about this topic, so you could tell it's something that I can nerd out about. I love the talking about, couples and how they deal with money and their finances and the best kind of money system to have and how to communicate. I'm sure most of you are pretty bored at this point in the discussion anyways, but I did appreciate that kind of focus in the episode. We also have the B storyline with Raj and Sheldon, and I like how they're going through a trial test, going underground. Could we survive in the mines? Could we make it? I mean, to be honest, I think that sounds like a very uncomfortable environment. I don't think I would like that. Claustrophobic, hot, underground. That sounds like something that would be difficult to do. And I think very quickly Sheldon and Raj realized that it wasn't for them. Between going to the bathroom in a bucket and finally seeing rats, it's just too much, clearly. I do love the way that they ended that episode with Sheldon just abandoning Raj completely, and then Raj confronting him for being such a selfish, cowardly, horrible friend, and Sheldon's response being like, why is he stating the obvious? I thought that was a great callback to the previous joke, and also just a funny moment of Sheldon's kind of like both being very self-aware of his imperfections and using his self-awareness to insult his friend at the same time. I thought that was a great comedic ending to the episode. But I had a lot of fun with both those episodes. Hope you guys enjoyed these reactions. Let me know any of your thoughts about the things I talked about, if it's interesting at all to you. If you have a different opinion from me, I'd love to hear in the comments down below. Thank you as always for watching, and as always, remember, be active, be mindful, and be a hero.